thinking, because Rinpoche mentioned last night about doing Q&A, so it might be easier if you have a question to kind of leave it more towards the end. Maybe Rinpoche will open up space for Q&A, because he mentioned that last night about writing down questions. So if it comes up in the middle of the teaching, just write it down, and then maybe Rinpoche will open up for Q&A. And if he doesn't, we'll check about that tomorrow. But that might be better to do it that way. And then all the questions maybe come at the same time. We'll try that out. Thanks. Start with short mandala. Okay. This one. Sorry. What's like this? All right. Okay. Right. Saji Bogi Joje Ram Ri Ram Ling Je Ne Yam Badi Sang Me Te Ye Dogu Nam Da Na Yo Tam Guru Rata Mandala Kapneya Tayami Sange Chodam Chonama Janchu Bardu Dagi Dagi Chenyenge Peso Namge Drola Pechir Sange Drupa
Shu Sangye Chudan Sodi Chunam Na Jang Chu Paru Da Yi Kyak Su Chi Da Gi Chun Yenge Pe So Nam Ge Zhu Jir Sangye Zhu Par Shu. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits I create through listening to the Dharma, may I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings.
So, was maybe we do a short meditation. This morning we talked a lot about developing devotion and faith and heart connection to the Mother Tara, fundamental kind of foundation. And this session, first we do a short kind of grounding, silent meditation, just kind of like a bringing present awareness. That's a step number one. And through the stage of that, and then gradually opening up your heart connection with the Mother Tara. And based on that heart connection in faith and devotion, then visualize front of your space, or you maybe just do it your crown, Mother Tara, and trying to stabilize your focus as much possible. And then based on that visualization, then maybe we should recite Satalamin Chebenki, you know, that yeah, that 7 time Satalamin Chebenki, that in Ladalami Jeben, that 7 time recite. And then also after that, recite 21 Tara one time. And then I'll continue. So first, let's do your meditation posture, just trying to bringing up balance, harmonious state of your posture. And if you notice any kind of tension, your upper part of your body, middle part of your body, lower part of, you're just trying to let go and ease. Then any kind of tension related with your feeling, notice and gradually let go. Then if you notice any kind of tension related with your thoughts, and notice, acknowledge, and let go. And then gradually bringing your awareness in the present. Without analyzing, without focus, just present awareness. through the state of present awareness, then gradually open up your heart connection, your feeling with the Mother Tara, Idam Tara. And based on this heart connection, then reflect all the great Dhamma practitioners. Due to the blessings of the Mother Tara, their spiritual formation have a very beneficial. And this moment, furthermore deepening your heart connection by reflections of the great masters, their practice related with the Tara, and yourself feeling a sense of fortunate to having this connection with the Mother Tara. And deepening your faith and devotion. Through the state of this divine mind, your heart connection to Mother Tara, then visualization of a Mother Tara. You don't have to be detailed, as much comes naturally. Once you establish roughly visualization, then trying to feel the nature of the Mother Tara, which is the nature of all the Buddhas, light and active. Then gradually trying to abide your awareness into that visualization by feeling the nature of the Mother Tara. If you're losing that abiding awareness into the visualization, then awakening your heart connection, the faith and devotion, and then reestablished your concentration or your abiding your awareness, the visualization of the Tara. And then gradually bringing your attention to the heart of the Tara, syllable letter, Tam in the center, and clockwise the 10 syllable letter, Taritu Taritu. So radiant, nature of enlightened mind, And again, same thing. If you're losing your concentration into that mantra garland, reawakening your heart connection with the Mother Tara, and through that, bringing your awareness, abiding into the mantra garland, naturally, not trying to focus, just abiding. And then gradually bringing into the clarity of the mantra garland. Then gradually, blessing nectar fall through the mantra garland, to yourself, through your crown, through your throat, through your heart, all body, pervasive, purifying all the blockage, tension, mental, psychological, physical. Likewise, that nectar touch all sentient beings and liberating all these different layers of attention. And also imagine, due to blessing of the Tara, yourself, and all sentient beings, enlightened, almost imagining enlightened, liberated, freedom. Then gradually awakening to this imagination is your expressions of your hope, but in reality, I need to dedicate my Dhamma practice to liberating sentient beings. So here you kind of conclude your visualization of Tara into the Bodhicitta meditation. And based on this Bodhicitta motivation, then for To obtain enlightenment, the accumulation of a merit becomes very important. So at this moment, through the Tara praises, you want to, based on that faith and devotion, we're going to recite the Tara praises. And whatever the effort, your effort of your body, speech, and mind, becoming cause for accumulation of a wisdom and virtue merit, and they becomes cause to obtain enlightenment, purpose of benefiting sentient being. Okay, so we're going to recite the Atalamin and no, you go ahead.
Shall we maybe do a few in Tibetan and a few in English, Rinpoche? Then the praises in English? Maybe I think for everyone, English is maybe better. Rinpoche doing Tibetan while we do in English? Okay.
Responsibility for you, you decided.
Just handing it back again.
You follow
Trying to-
whatever you do.
Okay.
Because
Oh.
Tara is same thing. You will hear English, you will hear Tibetan,
Yeah.
both.
Ola dala min jombengi shage pe mola tude Hongba kun le drolze ma dromla yumla shak selo. Susie, it's a prostration. There. La da la min jombengi shage pe mola tude Homba kun le drolze ma droma yumla shak selo la da la min jombengi shage pe mola tude Homba kun le drolze ma droma yumla shak selo la da la min jombengi shage pe mola tude Homba kun le drolze ma drola yumla shak selo. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage. Oh, I prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator. Homage Tara, swift heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, sprung from opening stamens of the Lord of three worlds, dear born lotus. Homage she whose face combines 100 autumns at fullest, blazing with light rays splendid as 1,000-star collection. Homage golden blue one lotus, waterborne in hand adorned, giving effort calm austerities, patience meditation her sphere. Homage crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit, relied on by conquerors children, having reached every perfection. Homage filling with tutari, whom desire direction and space, trampling with her feet the seven worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worship by the all Lord. Chakra, Agni, Brahma, Maru, honored by the hosts of spirits, Kopshis, Gandharva, Yakshas, homage with their triumphants, destroying false magic diagrams, her feet pressing left out right in, blazing in a raging fire blaze, homage to the very dreadful destroyer of marriage champion, she with frowning lotus visage, who
the slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart of fingers, adorn her with 3 jewel mudra. Like tree masses all excited, all directions wheels adorn her. Homage, she so joyous, radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, Miphil laughing with Tutari, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage, she able to summon all earth guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with their home sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage, crown her dormer crescent, moon all ornaments most shining. Amitabha in her hair, no, sending out much light eternal. Homage, imagery, the blaze like eon ending fire abiding. Right, left, bend, joy surround you. Troops of enemies destroying. Homage, she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it, scowling with the letter home. The 7 levels she does conquer. Homage, happy, virtuous, peaceful. She is filled with peace nirvana. She endowed with Thom and Soha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage, she rejoice surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder. Freeze with Om and knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage to the seed letter of the shape of syllable. By foot stamping shakes the 3 worlds. Meru, Mandaran, Vinja. Homage holding in her hand the Hirmat moon of Deva lake form, with twice spoken Tara MP, totally dispelling poison. Homage, whom gods and their kings and the kinneras do honor, armored in all joyful splendor. She dispels bad dreams and conflicts. Homage, used to eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon, with twice Hara and Tutari. She dispels severe contagion. Homage, full of liberating power by the set of the natures, destroys us the spirit actions, Andres corpses supreme ture. These praises with the root mantras and prostrations us are 21.
Okay, keep the visualization of the Matatara. And at the same time, keep your palms hand together at your heart. And repeat after me this one verse, okay? Om, Jomden, Dema, Pama, Dromala, Chaksalo, Changsel, Droma, Tare, Belmo, Tuta, Rai, Jikun, Selma, Duri, Tönam, Tamje, Derma, Soa, Yigi, Shela, Rapto. And then gradually, all the visualizations, mantra visualization, Tara visualization, gradually kind of like fade into the Dhammadhatu in the emptiness. And then likewise, all sentient being and yourself also kind of fade into the Dhammadhatu or in emptiness, dissolves into the emptiness. And then gradually bringing your awareness, everything in one nature, one taste. Then through the state of that awareness, one nature, one test, and then gradually bringing back to the kind of present awareness. And then gradually back to your awareness over your meditation posture. Okay. Okay, so now, since we talk a little bit intensive about how you develop heart connection, faith and devotion, how the importance into the practice, into your general, in your spiritual journey. Now, to Tara practice, also not only faith and devotion and heart connection plays important role, but also the understanding of a nature of reality of yourself. You know, you connecting with the Mother Tara with your heart connection, this kind of a pure vision, but now with yourself, you know, that's also important to the part of the practice. So understanding of a nature of yourself. Okay. Now, and that also applies to the awareness of a yidam. Also becomes very important. Awareness of a yidam. How you, if we connect with any yidam, particularly the Mother Tara, this kind of like a very ordinary way of relating, very ordinary way of opening our heart. What I mean very ordinary, you know, basically, there's how we kind of define not just the aspect, the way is kind of like a intrinsic, something that we are not labeling as an intrinsic existence, Tara, but we need to be aware into our heart connection, our awareness. It's a very next project is basically how to purifying the path that connects your heart to Idam Tara. So purificating the path in over here, basically, that path is your awareness, how you perceive Mother Tara, how you respond, the way you connect. Okay, so here, now this becomes next layers. You know, next layers. You know, even the practice of a devotion, even the practice of a praise and mantra, everything. Now the next layer is kind of integration of your awareness. You're basically taking your lens, how you connect with the Mother Tara into the next level, the view, you know. So therefore, otherwise, if we just stay into the conventional heart connection in faith and devotion, it limits our potential to benefiting sentient beings. It limits our potential to growth of our own spiritual formation. You know, so therefore, now we need to kind of, if I speak today's language, to upgrade our perception. so here, now here, this comes the wisdom practice. Through wisdom practice, how we connecting that with that Mother Tara. Okay, so here, so now the question comes: should I meditate in the emptiness of a Tara first, or should I meditate in the emptiness of myself, or what should I do first? The wisdom practice, where we start. And also very important to, the only way to deepening our practice of Tara is the wisdom lens that will lead us to that, you know, six paramita. Wisdom paramita is considered as like the eye. It have the eye. It sees from all different angles. It sees all different perspective. It can lead you, you know. So therefore, now devotion and the heart connections are very beautiful, but it is something that's it. It need to take to next level. It need to take more deepening. So therefore, wisdom meditation, wisdom lens. Now here. So how we take that whole thing into to next level is basically, so now here the I, the person who have an open heart towards the Idam Mother, the Idam Tara, and here the Idam Tara we talked in this morning, which is a manifestation of all the enlightened activity, which we just, you know, the last question, you know, you asked, I give kind of like the rough answer, but I think this enlightened concept of enlightened activity is a very broad, is complex. In Maitreya's Ornament of Realization, in the 8th chapter, there's a one chapter, within the 8th chapter, there's a one subject dedicated to what means enlightened activity. Okay, there's this kind of like is furthermore have its own definitions and how it define that's you know. So so now here so now I think is for once we do that, now next level, the wisdom practice is, I think now there's two things. Well, you know, basically, maybe this is the first things that, you know, wisdom awareness of yourself, lens tools to yourself becomes very important. So therefore, I think the way you understand yourself, where do you connect with yourself, where your awareness about yourself, how you feel yourself, basically, in to go, you know, that need to be understood much more further, much more deepening, not this kind of very surface level, understood much more deeper. And that awareness becomes the kind of like the main factor to how to connect and how to view the Yidam Mother Tara from the wisdom perspective. Okay, so therefore, basically, first, you know, to kind of go through the meditation of emptiness of yourself. Okay, and then through that, then you can kind of a different way of observing the connecting with the Mother Tara through the meditation of emptiness of a Tara. Okay. Now, at the beginning, when you're going through that kind of a process, because it's a new territory and it's kind of a new way of looking, so therefore, sometimes you may lose your heart connection. Kind of that energy can be go down a little bit because of that change, the different change of a way of perceiving and the way you're connecting with the Mother Tara. The change, but again, we don't need to worry. And again, that heart connection, we know, is a very important part of the spiritual practice and the path. But again, the wisdom lens, when you're trying to connect with the Mother Tara through the wisdom lens, basically, you start with the emptiness meditation of a Mother Tara. Basically that will put you a little bit unfamiliar territory at the beginning, but it is a very mandatory. It's like the first medicine. It takes very bitter, kind of strange, and maybe you have to take that medicine, but you really don't want to take that medicine. It's very necessary. So anyway, there's a discomfort possibility. It may shake, it may, but I think it's very important to continue and, trying to kind of open up to that kind of wisdom view of yourself and your heart connection to Mother Tara through the wisdom view. Okay. Now, but there is this kind of shift happening, and because of that shift, sometimes is a kind of like you lose the things that what you have at the early before, prior to that kind of wisdom approach. But it's okay. That's okay. That's just kind of matter of time if you just not give up and continue to kind of take the journey of a wisdom view. Through the wisdom view, you're opening up your heart to connecting to Mother Tara. That will be, so now over here is and that wisdom, what that means, wisdom lens, in conventional lens. Basically, wisdom lens is absolute absence of a distraction. And the conventional lens is, you clear up, again it's come back, so you clear up, you still come back. It's just like kind of in and out. So now to creating that kind of a wisdom lens is an absence of a distraction. What that means is basically distraction is not so much out there. Distractions is into now from a wisdom lens, clarity is you are not trying to create a secure external environment. You are trying to create secure internal environment, awareness environment. So now over here, in the wisdom lens is basically there is a dilemma. It's easy to say, look through wisdom lens, but it's not as easy we express. There is an infinite dilemma. Okay, what that means is wisdom lens is mainly trying to kind of to mental fabrication, karmic fabrication, afflicted fabrication, conceptual activities, random thoughts, intended thoughts, ideas, justifying all these different things. So here, wisdom lens is trying to it requires a little bit analysis. And analysis have two layers. Basically what you analyze and what you're trying to clean up into that in a wisdom view is basically the narrative story related narrative story, how you process, even enlightened quality, even Mother Tara's description, even the praises. And there's all this kind of different, we talked this morning, praises and not supplication, but what you call that? Entreating, begging, All these things. So into the wisdom lens, you are looking into the process. You are throwing up through your heart with a pure intention, expressing these things. But now, through the wisdom lens, it's trying to separate, trying to purify it. The way you kind of like express. Basically, over here is some type of, basically, at this moment, what becomes real for us, if there's no intrinsic flavor, doesn't become real. If there's an intrinsic flavor, becomes much more real, much more tangible, and something that feels, that's kind of like a touch. So, basically now in a conventional lens, fundamentally, whatever it's established, the key factor, which is defines and establish yourself and the divine yidams, that key factor itself needs to be purified and questioned and analyzed. Basically, that key factor in a conventional lens, which able to establish that kind of a spiritual and heart connection with the Tara, through the wisdom lens, it is a kind of blessing and a curse both. And to get fully into the wisdom journey, then we need to kind of like that kind of like a intrinsicness need to kind of questioned, analyzed, and if you found through the logic and reasons, is good news. There's something intrinsic. And let's keep it as an open discussion. Of course, Nagarjuna decided there's no such a things, but let's keep open. No, if we go so much, immediately say yes, sir, Nagarjuna, and then I'm not sure it will be how much our karma can educate it. So therefore, so that kind of like an observation, and through that kind of analysis, through that kind of analysis, so basically you're giving different tasks for your perceptions. It's whole different. Sometimes you have an expression, listen to the things what not saying. Maybe the main subject is what is the not saying part. Listen to what is not having saying. In a similar way, in a wisdom, and there's something, our conventional lens is all the time defining, characterizing, like kind of like a defining and, quantifying, and all that things is here. So our perceptions are so well oriented into defining, refining, establishing, quantifying, measuring, all that process. So now here, through the wisdom lens, is nothing something, sometimes people say, oh, ha experience. I'm not sure it's a ha experience. It's not something balls going up, but it is a very depressing. So here, the basically wisdom lens is similar, same expression, trying to listen to what it's not saying. Similarly, in that way, trying to see what is not defining. So trying to see, our perception is so much kind of hijacked, need to be what it is, this, that, this, and that's only how we survived. And now here the wisdom awareness is trying to kind of, I mean, like, again, this and that, did a great job until now. But also same time, this and that also did bad job too. Uh, so here, the wisdom lens is trying to see the reality, the yidams, the practitioner, trying to feel myself, trying to open up my heart connection with the Tara. But kind of taking a different approach without establishing something, without defining something. And this dilemma trying to work is kind of very strange. Even I feel strange. It looks like I'm a crazy person talking strange stuff. But here it's just, fundamentally, our human awareness to establish reality without fabrication and anyway, well, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, it's giving a very different task or skill to perception mind to perceive whatever it's perceiving without defining, without refining. And basically, that kind of approach to reality is an ultimate way of naturally healing from all the distractions. And the training is to basically trying to, the word emptiness, meditate in emptiness, meditate in absence. Basically, your heart is connected with the Mata Tara, but you are not trying to focus in the Tara. You are somehow looking in middle there, absence of. You're looking into some kind of absence. The training into the wisdom is somehow you are in this big room with so many things, but your focus is not something outside. Your focus within this room, but you are not focusing into the things, but you are focusing into what are not the things. Okay, now it sounds like really crazy. So it's a different training, a different training for the perceptions, for the mind, for the awareness. Why it called wisdom is basically it will see the reality different way. It see the reality through freedom, because you don't have any kind of a fabrication, this and that and this and that. That model, this and that model you are trying to drop to the wisdom now is so therefore this okay, you becomes kind of like non-functional. We might say we are functioning because we've operated the reality from this and that and discernment and so on and so forth. But there is, ultimate, there is this kind of very compassionate, there's a very open way of a fully functioning without falling into the old habit of a way of a functioning through this and that. Okay, sounds kind of okay. Let's see. Let's see. So I think basically a world without perception, world without experience, it doesn't make sense. The world makes sense because of the perceptions. There's a sensor. Okay, so now here this sensor kind of pollutes the world through approach of this and that, becomes kind of short-term nightmare. Nightmares are interesting. I think we should, maybe somebody should have a written PhD research in a nightmare. I'm not sure there is a PhD research. Maybe nightmare. Somebody researching nightmare. And anyway, so okay. So now I think so. So now the process of are you with me? Am I crazy? Am I nuts? or you are with me, huh? Does it make a sense? Doesn't make sense. Makes sense. Wow. That's great. Okay. So uh, so now I think we have this theory of emptiness. This theory of emptiness, I think, is very important for us to. It is about bringing up the pure vision of our perception, theory of emptiness. Basically, this theory of emptiness is fundamentally, if we kind of translate that well, is this whole about how to heal our human perceptions, human consciousness, human cognitive mind. Now, so so now here, I think so here I think at the beginning, as I mentioned earlier, there's a meditation of emptiness of a self, a I, and that emptiness doesn't mean a nothingness, but emptiness is you look for something and you didn't found, and making sure what you're looking for. Emptiness is understood through analysis. Okay, there's a something theory that we understood. Theoretically, we need to understand what means emptiness, and that emptiness is, in the first place, the word emptiness, why we need to bring, due to our karma and due to our conventional perceptions, we kind of overpacked everything. Everything we solidify, so here, and here I think the main thing is meditation of emptiness is questioning our own experience of this moment at now, not for future, not so much in the past. Now, what's happening? This moment, what we feel, what we see at this moment. You're just kind of like it's not based on a virtue or non-virtue. Nothing this have to do. You're just simply looking, simply observing, and quest, kind of a deeper quest. Just that's it. And whatever feedback, any kind of forms for you, you're not taking literally, and you are furthermore analyzing, 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 analyzing. So, so in the meditation of emptiness of self is basically, it's not about the stories, it's not about the family history, it's not about the personal journey into life, it's not so much all that narratives, it's just the who I, the I, the present moment, the I, the self at this moment, without any kind of stories, and otherwise they become distraction. So here, looking the I, not the past becomes the history, future becomes the hopes and fear. So let's just look at into the present I, which have a, and then here into that I, we need to kind of like questioning what you're seeing and what you're feeling, and so obviously, even without philosophy, we say like, I feel I am the center of the universe. This is a universal language, is a universal feeling. And if we translate that into the philosophical terminology, that means I am truly existence. I am independent existence. When I say I'm center of the universe. And that feeling is very vivid for even, all sentients have that feeling. So if we translate that in philosophy, that's basically intrinsic reality of self, intrinsic reality of self. So I feel I'm the center of the universe. So it's neither reaction or action. It's not coming through reaction and action, I think. It's just, is not coming through education, it's not coming through our background, culture. It's just kind of like there, that kind of there. In the philosophical terminology, we call innate. Innate is just innate. It's there. It's innate. Now, it's just innate. You don't have any kind of stories to. It's there. There's nothing to story need to describe that. Story. Part of that there is some story exists, but itself is kind of like independent from the story. It creates story. Story don't have to do anything with that sense of self-feeling. Now, now the question over here is that kind of like an intrinsicness is really there. It is just basically analysis of that kind of intrinsic, what you feel yourself. And that's just kind of like the taste for yourself. But subconsciously, you feel exact same for all surrounding world, including so-called you are devoted for Mother Tara, also including Mother Tara, the Yidam Mother Tara. Also, you feel some kind of intrinsic, subconsciously is there. So now this, from the Nagarjuna point of view, this, if we stay into this kind of intrinsic view of a yidams and a practitioner, our own self, whatever we visualization, offerings, and in all this process, it will limit our spiritual growth. It will limit our spiritual growth. So therefore, it says, okay, how we make that loop, that jump, that progress is, starting with our own self as through the analysis. I feel that way. It's not through study. It's not through culture. It's just my own, kind of somehow, since my childhood, I'll feel that I'm the center of the universe. Now here, and is this, it might going to feel same like this in the future, but here the question is like, is that true? That becomes kind of like a source of, also quite clear for us, that's also becomes source of a lot of pain and trauma and anxiety and all that, today's challenge. And here, here I think is that as I believe, as I trust that kind of intrinsic I myself, something does its own my trust. Basically, the question is, did ego grasping owns my trust? I say, you have to own your, I say, what is this expression? Earn. Earn. Is earns my trust or not? We're giving that trust so easily. So here the wisdom awareness is basically in a kind of personal project. Is intention is to perception to the intention is our human perception to somehow experience not limiting, because so the wisdom awareness will help our perceiver, the observer, have more freedom. So less distraction. Let me put that way. You know, so now here through analysis. So now the question comes. You know, how to train my mind to pay attention for non-existence, emptiness. Until now, we are so oriented to existence, establishment, quantifying. And at the same time, you are not falling into the nihilistic, that there's nothing there. Okay, so basically, meditation of emptiness of yourself, and then through that meditation of emptiness, you know, leads to emptiness of Tara, the Yidam, and that lens need to apply to the emptiness of all the offerings, emptiness of all seven limb practice. So basically, you are relating with a, you know, you are relating with a reality. You are not bringing new reality. You're basically where you're connecting with the reality is a change. It have a less reactive mind. It have a less of fear, basically, less fear. It have more freedom, more stability, more liability, more consistency. So you know, like at the end, you know, our perception, our awareness is that's really counts. You know, our awareness. So it's lots of things can healed, lots of healing, lots of purification happen into the awareness of emptiness. It is in also if we not kind of carefully done and correctly done, can fall into nihilistic, can make it more worse. So there's a danger of that also exists. You know, so therefore, fundamentally, you know, somehow our awareness able to gradually separate intrinsic it and the it itself. Does it make sense? Am I making up intrinsic it and it itself? Intrinsic it, I'm just making up, okay? Intrinsic this and that and this and that. It's not English, no? Okay. Intrinsic, until now, conventional lenses is basically operating based on intrinsic this and that. So not intrinsic this and that, but there's still this and that. Okay. So the mantra is no intrinsic this and that, but intrinsic this and that. Somehow I'm kind of translating in the philosophical text. We have this the kind of saying English sounds kind of strange, no? Okay. So for this week, you should get used to it. From next week, you can leave it, repurpose and make more kind of real English. Okay. I remember one time I went to give some talk, and there's some Zen masters and myself, and we're just kind of like, you know, he was in, and he said, "What?" He asked me, "What you going to talk?" And we just kind of make sure we don't talk the same thing and get audience get bored. So he was talking. So something I said, and then at the end he just concluded, "Well, Rinpoche, whatever you say becomes profound." I said, "Wow, why?" Because you have an accent. So he said, like, it's nothing special. You have an accent, so everything becomes profound. Okay, you know, the first he make me very happy. then he put me down. No, it's just accent. You just have an accent. That's it. Okay. So the why I'm talking this part is because there's lots of time we get kind of meditation of emptiness somehow encourage, maybe sometime maybe not intellectually, but in a practice, maybe we might fall into the nihilistic, like nothingness. Although you're not trying to see as a nothingness, but somehow there's a dilemma. It's not easy perception, basically, wisdom awareness, analysis, and you got that kind of glimpse of a way to train our perception to seeing the non-seeing part. In the sutras, they say non-seeing as the ultimate seeing. So anyway, then to training process of our perception into that kind of wisdom view is fundamentally depends into the training in the concentration, state of concentration. Now, in state of concentration, concentration, concentration requires lots of grounding. To concentrate something, you need to well grounded your body, your emotion, particularly your body. You start with your breath, something that relaxed, grounded, less anxious, physically, emotionally. So something that now the awareness grounding, which becomes one of the important part here. So in this wisdom awareness is basically the flow, the continuity is to be done through the concentration, because pay attention, almost like, sometimes, we have sometimes you are training for your right hand, the left hand. One hand you're trying to kind of tight and trying to retrain your brain to, in a similar way, maybe maybe take a training as a like whenever you go any place, in your house, in outdoor, trying to pay attention the other side of the coin, which is a non-existent part. Try to pay attention to what you're not seeing. It drives you crazy, obviously. Trying to pay attention for the things that you want, but you're not seeing. it is a kind of rebalancing wisdom. Maybe it's to rebalance to middle way. You know, this called middle way view, the Madhyamika. You know, just kind of like a rebalancing. And we are so much in one-sided to establishing, defining, refining this and that. You know, there's too much into that one. You know, that kind of like establishing. You know, so maybe it is just kind of like you know, like lots of like even in a tantra, wisdom meditation have some kind of visualization. You know, visualization. Like for example, in a tantra, lots of wisdom meditation happens. First, you have this kind of elaboration of a visualization of a creating the merit field. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you have whole kind of like a really highly activated your faith and devotion, heart connection. It's like a you see the mandala, you know, sand mandala. You spend time and you constant go out, and then boom, the last day, everything, you know, just throw it out. And that although you know is impermanent, but it's also like a wisdom, you know, wisdom meditation part. And similarly, in a Vajrayana, you know, you have that kind of like really you brought up, uplifted into the visualization and elaboration of the merit field, a seven limb practice, and so on, offerings, and just like you can go on and on. And then it says, now you have to dissolve from the edge of the universe. Everything becomes vibrate, dissolves in emptiness, dissolves all the offering, even the merit field, everything. And even yourself dissolves everything that you are so attached. Everything dissolved, everything. And somehow that is the kind of like that's it. That's the kind of the final your practice. That dissolving practice, not that visualization, offering. That's just a process, and the final, the most practice, the essence of the practice, dissolving everything. And if we are lucky enough, then in the state of that dissolution, into that dissolution, you are still, your faith and your heart is still open, and devotion is still there. And that still becomes really, you know, so therefore, visualization gives you something that conventional perception, whatever it constructed, even it coming through the bodhicitta motivation, even this coming through the faith and devotion for the divine idioms, still it's, you know, trying to vibrate kind of into the emptiness, vibrate into the emptiness. And that's is the final. That's the final. That's the kind of like what you call the in the sometime what you call the in the story. Then there's the high point of a story. What you call it? Huh? Climax. That's the kind of the final. That's the dissolving part, dissolution. And the reason why it's saying is here is a way we can mature more further. Here, that contrast, extremely, you kind of, you know, awakened the devotion faith, and the elaboration. It's in ultimately practice is to train your mind, put your mind into kind of very interesting dilemma situation. I mean, like not samsaric dilemma. I'm saying it's in a way it perceives the reality. You're putting into the very kind of different element. It's almost like a, you know, sometimes you do what you call that Norwegian hot tub, you know, like you go in hot and you jump in the cold, and what you call that? Sauna. Icy water, and then back to. And similarly, you're in the conventional elaboration, and then you have this cold boom into the emptiness. Everything dissolves. So that contrast is very healthy, and a transformation happens into our awareness. So otherwise, it's just all the time into the comfort zone, all the time in the comfort zone, into the conventional perception. Basically, we end up lazy. so that's kind of things where, and it's kind of similar, like you develop, then you dissolve everything. You dissolve. And, although you're doing this into the visualization, and basically you are really looking into the response of your awareness into that process, although you're doing intentionally, but that kind of discomfort, to feel that discomfort, then not giving up to the discomfort and just continuing. Okay. So meditation about emptiness and wisdom is, it's not necessarily, particularly wisdom is, I don't know, I think it's not something new discovery, it's nothing. It's just everything, just to daily life. Okay. Basically what I'm saying now in this session, this morning, we emphasize so much into the devotion and heart connection, and that becomes a fundamental. Now this session, that faith and devotion need to take more further. Wisdom meditation is very important. Wisdom meditation, you start with yourself, emptiness of yourself, and then through that emptiness of Mother Tara, emptiness of Mother Tara, that yidam, and then basically there's a period of a time basically we have to kind of voluntarily making choiceless choice. I told that choiceless choice, voluntarily. Voluntarily choiceless. If there's a choice, we want to make a choice of intrinsic existence, but it's impossible when you look at carefully. Now, to go another extreme, there's nothingness. Is contradicts with my own reality experience. So now the choiceless choice is merely imputed. It just exists by imputation. It's not, I don't think so. It's joyfully, for me, not necessarily. It's just kind of choiceless choice. It's just like, that's the only left. That's the only options. That's only left. That's the merely label is, I don't see as so divine and so subtle, and so, I don't know, maybe I have less merit, but I feel like only, that's it. What things else? Choiceless choice. And then somehow through the choiceless choice, we're supposed to obtain enlightenment.
Rinpoche, can we take a
Yes, absolutely. We take a
maybe
break from choice.
just till 10 past? Is that enough time for everyone to go to the restroom? Yeah, 13 minutes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. Let's take a short break.
So Rinpoche's going to just finish the teaching, and then we'll be about half an hour at the end for question and answer if anyone has questions.
So maybe do refuge 3. and Hatalami. Refuge 3 times, and then Hatalami 3 times. Mandala is okay.
Okay, refuge 3 times, and then again in the short the verse on page 17, Susie, the prostration verse. So, but we do refuge first. So refuge is in the, I think it's only in the prayer book, but we, can you put the prayer book up first, Susie? And then we do prostration. Ladang 3 times as well, Rinpoche? No. Okay. Sangye chodan sogi chodnam la janchu bardu dagi kyapsu chi dagi chenyenge be sonam ge rola penjir sangye drubar sho sangye chodan sogi chodnam la janchu bardu dagi kyapsu chi Dagi chenyenge be sonam ge drola penjir sange drupar shok. I take refuge until I'm enlightened in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my merits I create through listening to the Dharma. May I become a Buddha to benefit transmigratory beings. And then page 17 in the Green Tara. Prostration. We'll just do twice in Tibetan, once in English. Ola da la min chom bengi shagi pe mo la tu de pomba kun le jol se ma jom la yum la shak se lo la da la min chom bengi shagi pe mo la tu de pomba kun le jol se ma jom la yum la shak se lo. The gods and demigods bow to your lotus feet, O Tara. You who rescue all who are destitute, to you, Mother Tara, I pay homage.
Okay, so we do a short meditation in emptiness of yourself and Yidam Tara. So again, first we start with a meditation posture and creating harmonious and releasing any kind of tension over your thoughts, your emotion, your physical. And then gradually bringing your awareness in the present without analyzing, without concentrating. Then through the stage of a present awareness, then gradually trying to feel a sense of self. If you notice there's an independent self, then just simply how is possible. Just by that questioning, gradually just pull your awareness empty of independent of self, just on the target, what you feel, and dissolve that. Through state of that awareness, then peace, how you relate it with yourself. There's ease, naturally grounding. Then retrying to identify self, dependent nature of self, and that I, dependent nature I'm going for. Visualize, open my heart to Mother Tara. And deepening my faith and devotion, the dependent arising I, going to take a refuge to the Mother Tara. And then through the stage of that awareness, then visualize front of your space, Mother Tara. And the empty of independent existence and the nature of a dependent rising. and apply that same view, the visualization of the mantra calling at the Mother Tara's heart, empty of independent, nature of dependent arising. Through this wisdom lens, trying to feel aspect different, the I, the idam, Tara, the visualization of the mantra, but in nature, in essence, one taste. And trying to abide into that wisdom awareness. And then gradually dissolve all the universe into empty of independent, absence of independent. And that kind of dissolving, and your visualization of Tara also dissolved. And the I, the self, also dissolves. And just trying to avoid into the absence, non-forming, non-establishing. Then gradually bringing back your awareness to present awareness, and then back to your meditation posture. Okay, so again, one same thing as we did before. Put your palms hand together in your heart and repeat after me this Tara prayers, condensed version of Bhutan Tara prayers. Om Chumden Dema Pama Dromala Chakselo Chaksel Droma Tare Belmo, Duda, Rai, Jikun, Selma, Duri, Dönam, Tamje, Tema, Soa, Yigi, Chela, Ratung. Okay. Okay. So, um, and like a Chidamanitara in the four mandala practice, in there's different sets of offering. And some of the offering, you express wisdom awareness. And that's so beautiful. We call like offering of a suchness. You know, external offering, internal offering, suchness offering. You know, so uh, so you know, when we're doing like a Dara practice and you know, particularly like four mandala Dara praises, and when you're doing that, it is we need to think this as a yoga practice. Okay, your mental yoga practice is not your thought yoga practice. It's not thought. It's not about thought. It's about your mind yoga. Mind yoga. And when, particularly in the four mandala Dara practice, the offering, there's so many offering expressions. Each time there's a mandala offering, there's a different substance offering. And in these offerings, you have this kind of heartful offering, which comes with is very beautiful, but all time it comes with a conventional view. And although it's a very pure intention, but the perception have a conventional perspective, is the best what we can do it at this moment. But our challenge is transforming our perceptions, which is the offering that we made based on a pure intention, into the ultimate view. And that's the kind of like the yoga, the flexibility, the mind yoga. You're bringing somehow, you're arising from the conventional view, and then you kind of evolve into the ultimate view. That kind of like exercise, you know, it comes through your heart. That kind of offering you're making through your heart is very genuine, very pure. But, you know, at the end, evolving into the wisdom expression. And that's kind of like this, in a Chittamanitara, in a four mandala. Hopefully we'll do it last day. It have this kind of expression. So making offering. Now, what is the important part is even in your house, your altar, is there's an external offering and there's an internal offering, particularly, since we are exposed into the meditation of emptiness, since we're introduced into the meditation of emptiness, then these activity, when you're happening, water bowl offering, incense offering, a flower offering, is a not integration of attempting to making that offering through the wisdom perspective. You need to find any kind of expression. It don't need to be long and taking your time. It is just It's not about quantity, it's just quality. There is an emphasis towards to the quality offering. And particularly, the Konaniki Chuba, offering of a suchness. So basically, you can be on the front of the water bowl offering just for 1 or 2 seconds and just kind of dissolving into the emptiness, dissolving that kind of conventional perceptions. At the same time, you are there in the front of your altar making this offering. You are witnessing this offering. It doesn't take that long. Just kind of that awareness, that being that awareness, and your integration of your offering is a very, 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 very important. And not only into the offering, in the praises and visualizations, and any time if there's a little bit push into the not only conventional perceptions of your visualizations, but it is a kind of like concluded or closure by the wisdom awareness, and then that's not only for visualization of the merit fields of Atara, or it's even our day-to-day life. Even your coffee making mission dissolve in the emptiness. Any opportunity of dissolving of intrinsicness is the ultimate yoga practice. It will impact into our cognitive realm. Even there is in the Paramita Sutra, it's mentioned reciting, writing, even some sutras, just touching to the Paramita Sutra, can have some impact. So at least I think it's very important. Our pushing our awareness into that, then certainly gradually, you have a less fear related with your life. Less fear related. It's not about confidence, but there's a naturalness. There's less noise, internal noise. And there's a less kind of like a demand from our own ego grasping. And that freedom will allow to shining your full potential. That freedom will allow you. Otherwise, you push your potential, is never make it. You need to kind of intrinsic view of yourself dissolved, and whatever your karmic gift can, arise, and then it can, basically manifestation of your true as can be true as a possible of yourself. That would be so beautiful, and that's so comforting. That's that kind of a way you're connecting with yourself never becomes a source of an ego and narcissistics and anything. The word narcissistic is kind of like scary. I memorized this terminology, narcissistic. Narcissistic. Looks like some kind of fancy Sanskrit word. Okay. Or maybe Greek. Is it Greek? Is Greek? Okay. Narcissist. Okay. Okay. Huh? Narcissistic person? Oh, okay. 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 Good. Yes. Okay. So we have some time, as we opening some question answer, any comment and question, most welcome, related with the devotion and faith, related with emptiness, all that crazy talk. No pressure. If you have anything, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. There are a lot of things that you can contemplate with emptiness. How do we choose which ones to do? I mean, we're busy with laziness. Well, that's what I call, yeah, because I get really busy and I look at it as a form of laziness because I'm not really meditating and, busy with life.
Okay.
But so with the emptiness, which topic or when things come about?
You mean like which topic to study?
Yes, I mean, like in
I
terms
will
of,
recommend you listen again and again this afternoon talk.
okay,
Maybe 108
Okay.
times. Anyway, just joking. Uh, 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 you know, there's lots of different classical texts. There's lots of translation in Lojong. Lojong have a training into the conventional bodhicitta mind and ultimate bodhicitta mind. And you can kind of combination together. You kind of like start with a conventional bodhicitta mind training. Based on that, you train the ultimate bodhicitta mind. Ultimate bodhicitta mind basically means meditation of emptiness. So these kind of like any kind of a lojong, like for example, like 8 verses mind training, and 8 verses mind training, the last verse is the ultimate bodhicitta training. So, maybe wisdom training, we do, kind of like for whole kind of like a whole structure to make a very healthy and a very kind of like a well-oriented training will be the Lojong training. Lojong, kind of 7-point mind training, 8-point mind training, different mind training. They fundamentally, the Lojong, the mind training is a design into the conventional bodhicitta training and ultimate bodhicitta. And they are like a responding each other. It's not like a separate, let me do this one, and later I'll do this one, and then later I'll kind of put together. Like you just from the beginning, you kind of build up your meditation of emptiness through the conventional bodhicitta training and kind of gradually built up. So I will recommend, please read and reflect it, Lojong training, Lojong thought training, or Lojong thought training. Can you say the thought training? Lojong mind training. For transformation, because there's one scholar says you train only dog, not mind. so which label will be good to thought transformation or thought training? I don't know. It sounds like you will get treat after Lojo. Okay.
So in terms of application of emptiness analysis, would you say that applying it on relationships as well as, in the Western culture, we have this self-hatred thing, like these two aspects will be useful? Relationships,
Yes.
like, you label people.
Yeah.
Um,
I think, in the meditation in emptiness, particularly in the classical texts, it says recognizing, first you have to find what need to be empty and what's going wrong. You have to have a kind of good assessment. So in meditation of object of negation over here, in these kind of situations, relationships, or, that's kind of like a really kind of pokes our ego, our sense of self. And it was a kind of very naturally kind of boom, it just kind of like arise into a state of that kind of a grasping into the self. How dare, and how, in a opposite way anyway. There's this, and that negative situation, although it's a painful situation, a negative situation, but if we are prepared, that's also have an opportunity to see object of negation, which is basically what is telling is that there is a window into that painful experience. There's a window if we are pay attention and we are prepared and we are put our motivation here, like right timing. Maybe we, at the beginning, maybe we are kind of late for half an hour, then slowly we close that gap. On that moment, the minute it arises, naturally, and there's your attention able to observe that experience, not sink into that experience and able to observe that experience. And this is not only good for this is kind of like a window to able to see a true nature of yourself, but also that observation is a really kind of shakes our innate habit of a grasping of a self. It shakes, it's just kind of that pause. And not only pause, but you are kind of like, you are not reacting, but you are pay attentioning. And you are not sink into that reaction. But that reaction is so natural. And right, so into that one, we're able to keep it a pay attentioning. Is considered as a very, very beneficial. And that's the kind of like, in a way, in the instruction in classical text, meditation of emptiness starts from the trauma. Looks like, where was their trauma? And here, like, boom, you pause, and you not just kind of like follow, but you pause and observe. And you're constantly creating the gap. You are disrupting that trauma. You need to disrupt, and it's not. That disruption is not just for sake of disruption. There is a purpose to get ultimate healing. So in a meditation of particularly in a 4-point analysis and meditation of emptiness, that pause. And yeah, this is easy to say. Obviously, it's very easy to say, once myself caught in situation, I'm not sure what I'm going to be. So therefore, but I think how we prepare, the awareness becomes very important. The theory and that awareness becomes very important. Then we need to that awareness translate into the motivation. We're keeping, whenever that happens, that motivation puts you, have that kind of like preparedness. And then see what happens. Lots of failure, absolutely. Not success at the beginning. Maybe sometime, yes, part of life, like that. So, but the key thing what we do is awareness transforming into the motivation, and the motivation will show the magic. Motivation will, how much the sincerity about motivation will do the magic, the magic. Then we wait for the magic, magician, magic, surprise. Oh, wow. Like, so that's, I think fundamentally, you kind of go through that trauma, that kind of distraction, but you are not, you see the distraction, but you're not caught into the distraction, and you are clear in your heart, because the setting the motivation and awareness helping what to look at it, and you are basically, it is a opportunity to discover something different, whatever we will discover through that. So that's, I think, yeah, these experiences are recommended. You know, these experiences are recommended for the meditation of emptiness. Yes, it is. It is. It is a not so kind of gentle. The meditation of emptiness is not kind of like a soft and clear and spacious awareness. No, meditation of emptiness. Face it. Let's sit together. Let's face it each other. Let's look at deep in the eye, in the heart, and let's look at it. So it is not gentle. It is a kind of, yeah, it is a boom, you see that. And then like here, wow, you just look at it. You just look at it. Wow, that's, yeah, it's trying to play its own play. And then, the minute you're able to observe that play slowly kind of shied. And so that's that's good. And sometimes, uh, just read Vajrakata Sutra. Also sometimes you don't have to be so kind of like strategizing in what you're doing and looking. Not necessarily. Sometimes you just go into the state of non-conceptual. Just recite Vajrakata Sutra, not trying to analyze it. These wisdom sutras, that's strange sutras. And just go through that. And, it's kind of, it creates its own magic. You create its own kind of like a blessings. So, and then, like, yeah, I think fundamentally, it is a kind of like a kind of orienting our perception to how to perceive and how to feel yourself, So that's kind of like, and the promise is liberation. Let's see. Okay. Yes, please.
I don't know if there is any significance to this, but on page 19, I noticed that of the practice of Green Tower, it says her feet pressing left out, right in. So I thought right out, left in. I don't know if there is any significance to that. It's the last 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth line from the bottom. In the book, How to Free Your Mind, it's the same thing. It mentions left out, right in, and then right in, left out. And so I don't know if there is any significance to that.
Chanza Tudaraw. Has teaching Chatan Pig. Haru Tugur of the Jum. Ye. Kyang. Yung. Ye. Ye Kyang. In Tibetan, ye means right, yun means left. Ye kyang yun kum. Maybe how you front visualization and the sub visualization, left and right can be changed. But here in in Tibetan, ye kyang yun kum. Left, I see. Here's a left out, no? Right in. Okay, left out is in. Okay, this is more complicated than emptiness. In Tibetan, kyang, right one out, right out, left in. Yeah. 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 Good visualization. You look very detailed. Left and right. Okay. Is the out is right, not left. This is the left, no? Left out. Is the right out, left, right out, left in. Left, yeah, opposite way. Yeah.
Do you know why she holds a blue lotus? Is that connected to there's a psychedelic blue lotus?
No, this tree called Upala. Upala flower. So psychedelic, I don't know. I don't know. Upala flower have a psychedelic?
They were blue, both blue Rinpoche, yeah? No, I don't know if it's psychic. You mean the one she's holding?
Yeah.
Or the lotus she's sitting on?
The one she's holding.
Holding.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think they're usually blue Rinpoche, yeah?
Yeah.
Blue opala. Okay. Yeah. Do you know do you know another name for opala?
That's right. Upala is Tibetan. We also use that word Upala Wombo.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I saw in California there's a different, also red one. There's a red one. Huh?
Red up Pala, maybe. Oh. Is that a kind of peony or something you're thinking?
I don't know. Somebody's told me something. Anyway, so your question is, it's something medicinal.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. What that plant is.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it has a medical or spiritual value.
Something rare, something precious. I think it must be some medicinal, the herbal, maybe from the Tibetan medicine point of view, maybe they have a more to kind of look at into, more kind of like a substantial kind of explanation. Maybe there will be something. I don't know, maybe detail about the plant. Why Mother Tara have that plant? Yeah.
I had a question going back to the first day. You had talked about uncertainty and the future is always uncertain, even if we achieve enlightenment. Can you maybe talk about whether enlightened beings and Buddhas have uncertainty? And if so, what uncertainty do they have?
Okay, yeah, I kind of remember I said something like that. Uncertainty is not so much into enlightened beings' personal life. I mean, like, maybe is a personal life. I think so. Because their life is to benefit sentient being. That's their job description. That's their. So now benefiting sentient being is constantly being ready, but it's so uncertainty. You just only uncertainty because sentient beings are karma. Is so only enlightened beings are present all the time. Their compassion and the uncertainty. My thinking, the word is the uncertainty is, wish hopefully the enlightened being, if they're very certain, that the thinking might behind, if the enlightened beings, their life is did I say their personal life is uncertain because their personal life is to benefit sentient being? And that's uncertain because sentient beings' karma is so uncertain. The reason I'm saying that is because the enlightened being is not this kind of a superpower that can kind of navigate and creates is not that kind of way of describing enlightened power. Enlightened power is basically absolute present for the sentient being's karma. Whenever they are ripened, whenever they are ready, is ready to respond. So that's kind of so uncertain. And of course, that uncertainty maybe makes the kind of interesting enlightened state. Otherwise, can be kind of knows everything, what's going to, it's so boring. So maybe that enlightened beings are so excited because uncertainty of a sentient being's karma, that makes them awake. Yeah, so I think that fundamentally my thinking behind is sometimes we treat, yidams and those in a kind of like a superpowered kind of they can fix, they kind of creating. So the using the word uncertainty is because it is interdependent with the sentient being's karma. So, and that is also maybe that's really kind of that makes a enlightened being keep going. So uncertainty of a sentient being's karma keep enlightened beings keep moving. So so therefore the yeah, they are uncertain, and I mean, like, basically they don't know what's going to happen. Absolutely. Can I say that? They're not going to know absolutely. It can, because it can go any direction, anytime, any moment, because karma have a different, some karma you can predict it. Some karmas I cannot predict it. And there's a more karma that unpredictable karmas, There's one person, psychic person, that sometimes I consult for him. And he's a kind of good, he's kind of like a look, only his things become quite accurate for just within the 3 months, whatever the karmic reality is going on. If something goes beyond 3 months and 6 months, whatever he tells, like, it just becomes kind of vague. It doesn't, so because everything is a karmic circumstances, things can change. What you see right now can be changed in after a few minutes. One time I was arrived in Delhi quite early morning, and I need to change some money, some money. So I went to change, just because I think I'm just kind of like next day I'm flying back to Kathmandu. And then I changed some money just to get to the city and get some hotel and rest. And I thought I'll get more money change and buy a ticket and fly tomorrow morning. And then I got some change at the airport. Then I went to the hotel and I asked them to change me some. And the exchange rate was so different. And I told them, I just changed something up there. It was the exchange rate was like this. Now, just I came here and you're changing. And this reception guy looked at me and world change minute by minute. and he says so spontaneous and so kind of genuinely saying, and I said, okay, thank you. I take it. Okay, so okay, we'll stop here.
Short mandala, Susie, and the dedication prayers.
O Saji Poli Jushe
Mendo
Mendo Ring Jini De Gambadi Sange Shindu Mete Uwaye Droke Namda Shima Chobar Shoi Jetsumame Yuse Rabten Chinam Gartin Le Chochuge Pada Lozan Tembe Drome Sasumgi Drove Mun Seltatu Ne Yurji Ram Guru Ratna
Mandala
Mandala
Gamne
Yataya. Embodiment of the three divine refugees who blesses all, Gendon Tenzin, holder of the teachings, may your lifespan last for eternity. May your excellent deeds pervade all of time and space and continuously ripen for the nourishment of myself and others. Eva de Yenyudu Dala Sange Drugyurne Drova Jigyamalupa De Salago Parsho Janchu Senjo Rinpoche Mage Panam Yegyurshi Ye Panyam Pa Me Pa Yi Gone Gondu Pelvarsho Ganri Rawe Korwe Shingam Dear Pendan Dewa Malu Junwe Ne Che Se Wan Tenzing Gyatso Ye Chape Site Pardu Dengyur Chi. I fully dedicate all these virtues to be able to train just like the hero Manjushri who knows reality, and just like Samantha Bhattacharya as well. I fully dedicate all my roots of virtue with the dedication praised as the best, by all the gone beyond victorious ones of the three times, in order to have good conduct.
Okay.
Would you like recommend it, John? Yeah, is that a good place to start?